Hey there, Blue Yeti Nano here. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about some recently announced Microsoft Teams features that I'm super excited about. Now, these aren't necessarily earth-shattering features, but in my opinion, these are features that are going to make the user experience in Microsoft Teams that much better. Now, let's go ahead and check them out. Now, the first feature that I'm super excited about is the ability to reply to a specific message from the Microsoft Teams desktop application. Now, what exactly does it mean to reply to a specific message? Well, when chatting in Microsoft Teams from the desktop app, you will actually be able to quote or respond directly to a chat message in a one-on-one or a group chat. Okay, and what this is going to do is this is going to help you keep your conversations grouped for easier readability. Now, if you're like me and you type really fast, my chats tend to grow, and so conversations can kind of become all over the place. So quoting messages or replying directly to messages allows you to ensure that you address specific questions or specific messages that you've received. Now, you may be thinking that you've seen this before in Microsoft Teams, and if you are thinking that, you're not wrong. The ability to respond directly to messages is a feature that is currently available in the Microsoft Teams mobile application. So if you're using Microsoft Teams on your phone, you can actually long press on a message and you will be able to respond directly to a message. Okay, it's a pretty handy feature, and it's also pretty common in most social media applications like WhatsApp, Instagram chat, or Facebook Messenger, for example. Now, this is a bit of an overdue feature from my perspective. It kind of seems like a no-brainer that Microsoft should have enabled the ability to respond directly to messages in desktop applications, given that most Teams users are on their desktop when they're collaborating with their colleagues. Now, what I'm going to show you is how to reply to a message on the Teams mobile app. To do this, you want to click on a chat message and you want to drag it to the right. This is going to bring up the little response bubble. You can start to type your message, and when you're done, you can press send. This is a pretty handy feature, and I can't wait for this to be added in the Microsoft Teams desktop application. All right, now the next feature that I'm super excited about that was recently announced for implementation in Microsoft Teams is the ability to have multiple organizers on a Teams meeting. Right now, when you're creating Microsoft Teams meetings, you can only have one meeting organizer, okay? And the organizer is the one that can configure the meeting settings, okay? That can delegate roles to other meeting participants, share content, and so much more. From my perspective, I know there have been instances where it would be useful for me to have multiple organizers. In some cases, I've had to schedule a meeting and haven't been able to participate due to either conflicting meetings that have come up at the last minute. So I would jump into the meeting and kick it off and just make sure that I didn't need to configure any of the meeting settings. Okay, so that's an example of where it would be useful to have multiple meeting organizers. Now, what you'll see here is that this feature was recently announced as being added to the roadmap on the Microsoft Teams user voice. This is where you can come to request that features be added to Microsoft Teams. And if they receive enough votes, then Microsoft will add them to their Microsoft 365 roadmap. Now, unfortunately, this hasn't been officially added to the roadmap yet, which means there is no definitive timeline on when this will be available in Microsoft Teams. But they, as you can see in the screen, they've indicated that they are going to be working on this. So it's just a matter of time before it gets added to the roadmap and we have a timeline as to when it will be generally available. So that's it. Just a quick video showing you two new features that were recently announced that I'm excited about. What are your thoughts? Are you excited about these? Are these going to improve the user experience in Microsoft Teams for you? Please drop a comment below. Please like the video, and most importantly, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay up to date on the latest Microsoft Teams tutorials and videos. I'm Blue Yeti Nano. Thanks for stopping by.